Hello and welcome to Uneven Edges, honest conversation between two people wherein there is no script, no fluff. Today we have Steve from WoolSafe organization.
So my name's Steve Bakker. I'm managing director of the WoolSafe organization. We're a global company. We're a fairly small company with a wide reach. We have offices here in the UK, the USA, Australia, Malaysia, Europe, and so on.
Heard this so many times that whatever we are doing, our products are the best, our quality is the best. Everybody says that, right? How is it that WoolSafe approved, cleaners and carpet carers are different from the others?
Nobody in our service provider global network is a newbie to the industry. They're all experienced, highly trained, insured, and crucially, they use WoolSafe approved products. Yeah, they're the cream of the industry. So they're all at the top of the game, successful guys, because they have to be in business for 5 years. They're not kind of newbies that may come in, try it, and leave.
What are some of the challenges that the cleaners face when they are taking care of these trucks?
There's a few challenges. I mean, we would with a high value hand.
Like me, there are a lot of other retailers who may not know. Of course, these people have been in the business for a very long time, but there are a lot of other people as well who would want to learn, who would want to know more about rug care. So does WoolSafe help end customers and the rug retailers about their rug aftercare or carpet aftercare?
Absolutely, yeah. So, I mean, that's a core part of what we do is education, and we are a kind of a bridge between the cleaning and the flooring industry because we sort of straddle both.
Yeah.
So we work with chemical companies and cleaners, but we also work with carpet and rug manufacturers and retailers and distributors, and we work with them to create correct care and maintenance advice.
Hello and welcome to Uneven Edges, honest conversation between two people wherein there is no script, no fluff. We're not managing our notes here, or we are not here to take questions and answer them. We are here to just talk talk a little bit about what is going on in the fun flooring industry, and also understanding that how we can be together, two or three teams that are working here, be together and create products which are desirable and which are long lasting for our consumers. And in that regard, today we have Steve from WoolSafe organization. uh, Steve is an industry veteran, and I will not be able to do justice by introducing him. So I am passing it on to Steve now. Steve, why don't you talk to us a little bit about yourselves and about WoolSafe organization?
Sure, thanks. It's great to be here, first of all. So my name's Steve Bakker. I'm managing director of the WoolSafe organization. We're a global company. We're a fairly small company with a wide reach. We have offices here in the UK, the USA, Australia, Malaysia, Europe, and so on. Um, we have sort of three core parts of the business. The biggest part of it is testing and certification of cleaning and maintenance products.
Mhm.
So we have a certification called WoolSafe approved, and we run several tests to make sure that the product is both safe and effective. And we have a training academy called WoolSafe Academy, and we train professional cleaners, carpet and rug cleaners, how to safely and effectively clean wool and other fibers. We do training courses on rug cleaning, color repair, carpet inspections. We have our foundation course, fiber care specialist, which looks at how to properly maintain wool to get the full value out of that installation or rug. And finally, we have a global networks of professional carpet cleaners, rug cleaners, colorists, inspectors, and so on. So they're the three core parts of the business. And we're here today, I guess, to talk about how to look after wool carpets and rugs.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that introduction, Steve. Really good to hear that what WoolSafe organization is doing. But then, I have always heard this so many times that whatever we are doing, our products are the best, our quality is the best. Everybody says that, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
So, how is it that WoolSafe approved, cleaners and carpet carers are different from the others? How do you differentiate, or how do our consumers will be able to differentiate amongst them?
Okay, so firstly, we don't produce the products, so we don't sell any products. So when a WoolSafe approved product is made from a chemical manufacturer, and they send those products to us at our lab here in Yorkshire, and then we put them through several rigorous tests. We have two kinds of testing. We do defensive tests, so we look at, will it damage the wool? Will it make the colors run? Will it cause rapid soiling and those kind of things? Obviously, if it does cause any of those issues, it fails and it won't be certified. And then we look at the efficacy of the product. How good a cleaner is it? So we have benchmarks that it has to surpass. So they're both effective cleaners and safe to use. So that's what differentiates them. And we fail still about 25% of the products that are sent to us. So these are from manufacturers who believe that this product is suitable, but we still fail a lot of them. And as far as the service providers, well, we train our service providers. So we train them through the academy. So they do the fibre care specialist course, the rug courses, and we check that they have insurance. We make sure that they have at least 5 years experience. So nobody in our service provider global network is a newbie to the industry. They're all experienced, highly trained, insured, and crucially, they use WoolSafe approved products. So you know that they have that tripartite of experience, training, and correct chemistry. So it's the best chance of getting the best job on your wool carpet.
So ideally, if somebody reaches out to a WoolSafe approved cleaner, they should
Mm-hmm.
be able to get the best of the products because they are tested in a lab, and
Mm-hmm.
they should be able to get the job done in the best possible way that is out there. Uh,
Absolutely. They're the cream of the industry. So, um, yeah, they're all at the top of the game, successful guys, because they have to be in business for 5 years. They're not kind of newbies that may come in, try it, and leave. So yeah, they are the cream of the industry are in the WoolSafe
do you
service
also
provider.
have any screening criteria for the people who are coming in, or you train them and
Yeah, so
level?
we look at the documents, so we make sure that they've been trading for those 5 years at least, but most of them have been 15, 20 years and so on. And then obviously we train them through the academy and they have to pass with 80%. So it's a high benchmark to pass the training. We check their insurance every year, and they send us proof of use of WoolSafe products.
Awesome. So basically, you are testing the products on the fabrics, fibers, etc., and certifying them. And then these people are any which way industry veterans, and they understand this much better. So combination of both, it is helping. So
Mhm.
if somebody has to take care of their rug or carpet in the home, I think that's the best team to reach out to. I would say, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So we have a directory on the website, woolsafe.org, and you can click on the find a carpet cleaner, find a rug cleaner, find a color restorer, and then you just put in your postcode and it will bring up the nearest operators to you.
Okay. So, you've been here for what, about 20-25 years now, in this industry? You're associated with.
Well, yeah, in the industry longer because I used to have my own carpet and upholstery cleaning business back in the day.
Oh,
Um, yes, I did it for about 8 or 9 years, and then ultimately I sold my half of the business to a colleague, and I went off traveling, as I think I talked to you about.
yeah.
Um, and then I came back 15, 16 years ago back to the UK and joined with WoolSafe.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I've been in it a long time, 25 years in the actual cleaning industry.
So as per you, what are some of those fibers that generally tend to fail, versus you can also talk maybe later on about the ones which are like good and which you would go to any day.
Yeah, I mean, I think all fibers have pros and cons, apart from wool, obviously. But I mean, you have some problematic carpets to maintain, and they tend to be the plant-based fibers, and especially the regenerated fibers. So a regenerated fiber like viscose,
Okay.
with has many names: bamboo silk, art silk, and
Oh yeah.
so on. These are basically paper. They're made from wood pulp and then they're extruded, and it's a long chemically intensive process, and they don't stand up well to water-based spillages. So if you have a big spill on it, it's very difficult to deal with, especially on an installed viscose carpet. If it's a rug, you have more options. It can be taken away, taken to a rug plant, cleaned, dried in controlled conditions and so on. It gives you a much better chance of success.
Okay.
But I mean, compared to wool, it's so much more difficult to clean and it stains so much more readily. Other plant-based fibers such as sisal, seagrass, coir, jute, they also have a bit averse to water. I mean, they have good strengths. I mean, jute is it's a very rustic look. It's very, on trend at the moment. And it's hard wearing. So, it has many positives.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, spilling, liquid spills on there, it's not its greatest asset. So that is difficult to clean. However, we do have within our organization cleaners that are trained to clean those fibers and can remove spills and put the color back in and so on. So it can be dealt with. It's just much more difficult than, wool carpet, for example.
Okay. So, while I think your answer will obviously be tilted towards wool being the better fiber of all of them, uh,
Yeah.
I am guilty of selling jute
Mm-hmm.
products. However, as you rightly said, that the rusticness of jute is obviously appealing to a lot of consumers, and
Mm-hmm.
if they are taken care of well, I don't
Yeah.
think there is any challenge. So, here I would maybe talk a little bit about what Qaushey does, because this product came in, and Qaushey Living is into making the safest drugs in the world, and that is where we are progressing in the next couple of decades. I would say that I would want to be running this company. How safe? In the sense that we work with wool, and you and I have had multiple discussions about it, and I have also spoken to multiple other people whom I will be having a chat in the later part of this month. We work with wool, which is naturally, it has that capability of avoiding fire, purifying the air in the rooms. Also, the fibers are like bigger, so it's very difficult to inhale them. So in a way, if you see the safety net that the wool creates, be it a rug or a carpet, is much better when it is compared to any of the man-made materials. So
Sure.
that is what Cautious Living is into. While, as I said, that jute is also part of our portfolio at this point in time, but we intend to get into purely wool in the next few years. So, like me, there are a lot of other retailers who may not know. Of course, these people have been in the business for a very long time, but there are a lot of other people as well who would want to learn, who would want to know more about rug care. So, does WoolSafe help end customers and the rug retailers about their, rug aftercare or carpet aftercare?
Absolutely, yeah. So, I mean, that's a core part of what we do is education, and we are a kind of a bridge between the cleaning and the flooring industry because we sort of straddle both.
Yeah.
So we work with chemical companies and cleaners, but we also work with carpet and rug manufacturers and retailers and distributors, and we work with them to create correct care and maintenance advice. So we have lots of assets that we can use. We have um, an app, for example, that tells you step by step how to remove spills. We have a stain wizard you can embed on websites. We have iframes that go through everything from preventative measures such as doormats and vacuuming, carpet protectors, cleaning, spot cleaning. So we have all those contained in an iframe that we share with our associate member retailers, so
Mhm.
they can add that value to their client's purchase by helping them to maintain it and get the most out of it. So yeah,
So,
did I answer the question? I'm not sure. I might have
you
gone off
did,
somewhere.
of course, you did answer the question, and I do have a follow-up question on that. Like, if I were to, sell a rug to somebody, I would love to
Mhm.
sell a hand knotted rug, because, because it lasts for decades, if not centuries,
Yes.
definitely for
Yeah.
decades. given the right material on top of it, it definitely lasts for decades. And
Mhm.
that's the kind of work that, we would also like to do. But when it comes to aftercare, especially for these rugs, which are like, high-end luxury rugs, what are some of the challenges that, the cleaners face when they are taking care of these rugs?
Um, there's a few challenges. I mean, we would with a high value hand knotted rug. I mean, as a general rule, we say the rug should be taken away and cleaned off site,
Right.
not just whipped over with a cleaning machine in the client's house.
Okay.
There's several reasons for that. One, that you can that a lot of soil gets trapped in the carpet, in the rug, and you need to be able to get all that dry soil out. And you tend to do that using various dry soil removal methods such as beating or tumblers and so on. And another key issue is to be able to submerge and clean that rug to get the rug cleaned and flushed out completely.
Hmm.
If it's off site, you have a much more control if there's an issue. For example, if the rug has pet urine, for example, which is quite a challenge.
Right.
Um, of course, nobody's dog does it, but they all do.
Yeah.
So it you know you're able to flush that rug completely, and then finally, it is being able to dry the rug in controlled conditions. So you'll have a drying room where it can be dried quickly to prevent issues such as browning or you know. So yeah, they're the main reasons for taking them away. But the big challenges tend to be damage from incorrect chemistry, which is why certification is important. Pet accidents, and then you have old rugs which may be damaged. They may be threadbare. They may have loose borders or tassel. So that if it's an old rug, you need to be taking good care of that, hand cleaning it,
Yeah.
maybe securing it properly before cleaning, and so on. So there's many challenges. I wouldn't advise just chuck it in your backyard and blast it with a hose pipe. I would certainly get somebody who's experienced and trained in how to safely look after them because they are investments. They're pieces of art.
Okay. Uh, and how does it change in when it comes to carpets? Because carpets cannot be removed. So
No, exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, you don't tend to get hand knotted carpets of that installed, not in the UK, really.
no,
But you will get woven
I'm not
carpet.
talking about hand knotted carpets. Obviously, I'm talking about in
Mm.
general the carpets because
Yeah.
a large chunk of UK flooring is carpets. I think about 50%, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I would say so. Yes. And yes, obviously that can't be taken away. So you're cleaning it in situ. So yes, you're slightly limited there with how much moisture you want to be using, how aggressive you want to be. But there
Process is
was
going to be a little different, is what you're saying. That for
yes,
carpet.
yeah. I mean, we have there's a wheel, and in that wheel of cleaning, you have chemistry, time, heat. These are the factors. So if you can't use heat, then maybe you use a bit more chemistry or a bit more time, and so on. And each carpet will be approached differently, depending on the soiling levels, depending if it needs to be in use straight away afterwards. There's so many variables that's why that experience where that comes in, where you choose the correct method, because you can have low moisture methods, you can have hot water extraction methods, you can use compounds. There's lots of different ways of cleaning.
Got it.
And let's not forget vacuuming, the number one
Yeah, of
um,
course.
key cleaning.
And I do agree when you say that rugs have to be taken out. Carpets obviously cannot be done, and obviously there is a process that is set in place for that. But when it comes to rugs, they can't be taken out, but they do need to be. The reason being, especially the ones which we work with, when you're working with high quality wool, it has that tendency and capability of absorbing the particles that are suspended in the air, let's say pollen or
Mhm.
dust, etc.
Yeah, VOCs. Yeah, absolutely.
It has absorbed a lot of that.
Mhm.
Regular vacuuming will be able to clean it to an extent, but not always. So
Mhm.
if it has to be properly clean, then it has to go through the entire process of probably a zillion things that you said that needs to be done to take care of the rug. Uh, but as per you, I mean, what are the common misconceptions of, let's say, owner, rug owner, or a interior designer today when it comes to wool rugs in specific?
Yeah, I think there's this misconception that it's difficult to look after or difficult to maintain. I think it stems largely from apparel. You know, people putting wool jumpers in the washing machine too hot and they come out half the size,
Oh,
and they think that this translates to carpets, which of course it doesn't. So that's one misconception. It is really easy to clean wool. It cleans up better than any other fiber. The issue you have with synthetic fibers is that they look great in the beginning, but over time they scratch and abrade from the dry soil and grit. And if you imagine running sandpaper over some smooth plastic, you'll
right.
have all these scratches on there, and it makes it dull. So in the end, you have traffic lanes and where it just can't be cleaned anymore. The dirt gets embedded in. Wool very, very slowly wears away, leaving clean virgin wool underneath. So it keeps its appearance much longer. I mean, the key, there's two types of soil: dry soil, sticky soil. Dry soil you vacuum away. Sticky soil, you need some detergency,
Right.
and that's when you reach for the WoolSafe approved product and clean that sticky soil off. And you'll notice that with the 100-year-old wool rugs, when you clean a 100-year-old wool rug, the colours still pop. It still looks
Yeah.
like the day it was made. You're never going to get that with a synthetic carpet, not even after 5 years, never mind 100 years. So, yeah, wool is just superior in every way in that respect.
So, it's so nice that you say that because uh, today, if you go and see the marketing buzzwords, right?
Mm,
It says that we are the best. We are making the best of the carpets or best of the rugs. We're using the best of the materials. So it becomes very difficult for the consumer to
mm,
to really pick which is the right ones for them. I know for a fact that some of the hand-loomed rugs are being passed on as hand knotted. There is a huge
mm.
difference between the two,
Yes.
including the price. Now, I would not want to get into the pricing bit of it because that can become touchy subject for a lot of people. But what does a consumer do when they have to choose between one versus another? How do they really find that which is the right one for them, and they are not being fleeced of their money? Because that's very
Mm,
important. I feel that giving value is my responsibility as a brand more than me making money or not. So how
mm.
do they choose?
Yeah, I mean, this is tricky, isn't it? How do you choose? I mean, you can give advice. I mean, where do they go for the good advice? I mean, I know that Lisa over in the States is WoolSafe North America, the rug
Right.
chick. She's got a great site for advice on choosing which rug. Um, the customer's going to choose for several reasons, really. They're going to look at price, they're going to look at the aesthetics, the appearance of it. They're going to look at where it's going to be installed and so on. So they're going to look at. You need to look at the end use and how long do they expect to keep it for.
Mm.
All these kind of come in to that decision making process. But the old adage, if you buy cheap, you pay twice. That's so true in carpets. I've
Absolutely.
just installed 100% wool carpets in my house. Wouldn't dream of doing anything else, just because I know that that's going to look great 10, 15 years from now. Still, I don't intend to move again,
Yeah.
so yeah, why would I put some plastic in there? I mean, that's even before you get to the ecological side of things. Just you know, I mean, you were touching on these abilities of wool, like the breathability to kind of maintain indoor air quality, and and so on. What a big one for me also is the unflammability of it. That it's got a very very high ignition threshold.
Yeah.
So for me, I have a young family.
Yeah.
I choose wool because if there's a fire, I want to have a good chance of me and the family getting out without being, because synthetic fibers, they're made of oil. They're really flammable. They spew out toxic fumes, whereas wool has a really high ignition threshold. So it's very, very hard to set it on fire. And as soon as you take away the flame, it naturally extinguishes. So that's a big one for me. Was a reason to choose wool quality.
Yeah. you know, very rightly pointed out about the inflammability of this versus the others. So close to around 40% of the rugs that are manufactured right now are made of nylon. And add another 20% on top of it is either PET, polypropylene, or one of these
Mm.
materials. So a large chunk of the rugs being manufactured today are that. Uh, and one would get to use it only once in a lifetime, probably. And I hope nobody has to go through that fire in their home. But if
Mm.
somebody has to, it is like that ABS system in the car. You will probably use it once in a lifetime, but that is going to be a lifesaver for you.
Yeah.
Likewise, it is true with the wool rugs and carpets as well. And that is why I keep saying that, we make the safest rugs in the world. We want to,
Hmm.
go down that path for the simple reason that whenever there is a fire, the main reason for somebody to, obviously, the fatal reasons for anybody is the inhalation of smoke that is coming out of it.
Hmm.
First of all, wool produces probably 80 times lesser smoke than polypropylene.
Hmm.
And the other thing is that any of these plastic oil based products, what happens is whenever they burn, apart from the 80 times more smoke they create, they create a gas called as hydrogen cyanide, and the name itself suggests that it is very,
Not
very
good news.
not good news. The other
Mm.
thing that they create is a lot of inorganic acids. These two things put together, when inhaled even for a smaller duration of time, it can actually lead to catastrophic results. And that
Mm.
is why I feel that today, rather than looking at the price, we should, price and breathability and a lot of other factors that wool brings it. I think safety is one of the top things, top one.
Mm.
Just
Yeah.
imagine wool fibers, which are like one of the best of the fibers when it comes to air purity, and but they are bigger as well. They are
Mm.
comparatively bigger to the other materials. They're very difficult to inhale. So, for your pets, your kids, these things are not only once in a lifetime saver, but also everyday savers as well, because they are not
Mhm.
inhaling anything bad. So that is why I feel that, it is important for everybody to understand the the benefits of what wool can offer. And wool also, there are not every wool created is same. S-
Mhm.
Some are not as good as, say about a high quality New Zealand wool, I would say, right? So I feel that there is a need for everybody to understand this. I'm not saying people don't know. All I'm saying is that we probably need to educate more. But do you think it is possible, albeit slowly, to replace the non-sustainable materials in rug making, where we have reached today? Do you think
Mhm.
it is possible to go back to absolutely being free of these?
Yeah, well, I'm not sure we can be. I'm not well in the short term, but we're not going to be free of them. But absolutely, we can, move back towards more natural products, and I think that's already happening. Um, there is a lot more concern about microplastics in the oceans and so on. There is definitely a swing back towards the natural fibers. I think we've seen that in the UK as well with installed carpets. There's lots more ranges coming out. Um, wool ranges from manufacturers who had left them in the past. They're coming back to them, realizing the benefits, probably realizing how many complaints they get about the plastic ones and so on. So yeah, there's definitely a move back to that. I think designers are specifying them more as well, these natural fibers, because the clients are asking for them. Yeah, absolutely, we're seeing a renaissance with wool, I would say.
What is the right place to start? Who should we go to first and try and educate about this? Is it the carpet manufacturers
To
and
get Yeah, to get to the customer, you have to go through the retailer, I believe,
okay,
because it's the retailer who has the that connection with, and the manufacturers will educate the retailers,
yeah,
and the retailers educate the consumer. I mean, we have a consumer-facing website, so we try and do our bit as far as the maintenance is concerned.
right.
We don't really go into choosing, which carpet is best for you, kind of thing. We just
Right.
tell people how to maintain wool carpets, synthetic carpets, plant-based fiber carpets. So we have different advice for those three. types. So I mean, our cleaners obviously they clean every type of fiber,
Right.
and we have a clean seal approved program where we test the cleaning products on synthetic fiber carpet. So we have a sister um, approval
Okay.
program. So we
Mhm.
have WoolSafe and Clean Seal.
Okay.
Um, but it's yeah, our focus is very much on wool because we are the WoolSafe organization. Yeah.
Of course. So, if somebody has to look for caring for their wool carpets, they should go to woolsafe.org.
Correct.
There itself, they will be able to find Clean Seal, which is for non-wool products. Is that right?
Correct. Yes, that's correct. Yes. Yeah. So we have a lot, we have all this advice there, videos you can watch on how to remove spills. Lots of advice here. There's a whole booklet on wool carpet maintenance. We have one for, housekeepers and facilities managers and so on. That's kind of goes into a lot more detail about maintenance programs and that kind of thing. So we have different advice for different stakeholders in the industry.
Okay. Got that. Thank you so much, for talking about such important topics, touching upon such important topics, Steve. I know this conversation doesn't end here. We have a lot more that is coming. We spoke about getting deeper into rug care with Richard in your team.
Mm-hmm.
So, in due course of time, we'll get there as well. But
Great.
this has set the stage right for us, definitely, because as a brand, it is our responsibility to make sure that
Mm-hmm.
our customers are taken care of, because we are talking about drugs that will last with them for a couple of decades, and
Yes.
we would want them to like us in those decades.
Well, and we'd like them to purchase from us again, I'd assume. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
So that is the reason that we are bringing everybody together and
Mm-hmm.
trying to create an ecosystem of people who will be able to speak about it and also help our customers in the different stages of drug manufacturing to usage to the end product.
I look forward to seeing those, Jaspreet. So, how will I get to see the future recordings?
Yeah, so we will be definitely posting it on YouTube, the entire conversation. Then
Hmm.
we will also be having a lot of the important aspects that you touched upon. Those part of the conversations on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Twitter, and any such platforms which will help us get the word out.
Great. Right. I'm looking forward to supporting you in this.
Thank you so much, Steve, and have a wonderful day.
You too. Thanks, Jaspreet. Let's chat again soon.
Bye.
Take care. Thank
Good.
you.
Bye.